Hello everyone, I'm Twinkle Sharma helping you to crack Microsoft certifications of Azure 900 fundamentals. So today our topic is Azure pricing, SLA and life cycle. So in this we will cover the describe factors that can affect cost in Azure. Resource type and size. Different services, virtual machine, databases, storage, etc. have different base costs. Larger virtual machines or premium storage tiers cost more. Example AD series VM cost less than an E series VM with more memory. Example, with the storage account, you specify a such type of as a blob, a performance tier, an access tier, redundancy setting, and a reason. Creating the same storage account in different regions may show different costs, and changing any of these settings may also impact the price. So, we have the different virtual machines and their different storage accounts can charge you the different things in this. With a virtual machine, you may have to consider licensing for the operating system or other software, the processor, and the number of cores for the virtual machine, the attached storage, and the network interface. Just like with storage provisioning, the same virtual machine in different regions may result in different costs. Create a virtual machine, which we have done in previous videos. So, in that we have select the reasons and other the locations also varies the cost. So the reasons Azure pricing varies by regions based on infrastructure and their demand. Deploying in North Europe may be cheaper than East US too. For example, usage duration. Most Azure services are billed per second, minute or hour. Longer uptime equal to higher costs. Use auto shutdown for dev test environments. Provisioning versus consumption. Provisioned reserved resources are always built. Consumption based serverless models only charge when used. Example, Azure functions or logic apps only bill for execution time. Reserved instances commit to 1 year or 3 years terms for services like virtual machines and save up to 72%. Best for predictable workloads, licensing and software. Window virtual machines include operating system license charges unless you use Azure hybrid benefits. SQL Server licenses add extra cost. So the different things you are using, it will cost the different. And if you are using with the hybrid benefits, you use the license and the software. Then we have the network traffic. Inbound traffic it usually free. Outbound traffic egress is billed based on GB transferred. Data transfers across regions or outside Azure incur charges. Data transfers across regions or outside Azure incur charges, storage tier and access frequency. Frequencies host storage frequent access is more expensive than cool or archive tiers. Then we have the retrieval from archive adds, read, and early deletion fees. Scaling and auto scaling. Services like app service plans or AKS can auto scale, increasing cost. Misconfigured scaling can lead to unexpected spikes. Security and monitoring, enabling Defender for cloud log analytics and Sanit- Sentinel adds cost. Charges depends on the data volume ingested, retention time, and enable Defender plans. Third-party services, marketplace items. Example, Fortinet Firewall may have separate pricing model. Then we have the cost calculations. So how the cost calculations will be done? Azure charges based on consumptions. You pay for what you use. You need to calculate things like virtual machines per second per minute or storage per GB per month. Networking, data transfer cost, license, Windows server, SQL server, etc. Tools to help. Azure pricing calculator lets you estimate your bill based on services you pick. Azure cost management tracks real time usage and cost per deployment. Now, here is the image which is showing you the Azure things or a product that will include for the estimates. Then we have the TCO, total cost of ownership. TCO looks at all costs across a project life, not just Azure fees, includes hardware costs saved, servers, racks, cooling, software licenses, IT staff time, energy costs, physical security. Azure offers a TCO calculator to compare on-premises versus cloud costs. So here we have the define your workloads, which is shown here. That the Windows, Linux server, physical server, Linux, how much you need the server, you can check the costing. Then we have the Microsoft Cost Management tool. What is a cost management tool? Azure Cost Management is a set of tools and services provided by Microsoft that helps you monitor, manage, and optimize your Azure spending. It enables you to track usage, set budgets, analyze cost drivers, and identify opportunities to save across Azure and other connected cloud platforms like AWS. So you can see here the cost management Contoso demo cost analysis, which is shown here. In this analysis, there is accumulated cost, the monthly budget, and we have forecast cost, average forecast. So here it is shown the amount of virtual machine service things provided, the locations amounts, and the enrollment account name. Then we have the Coast Alerts. Coast Alerts provides a single locations to quickly check on all of the different alert types that may show up in the cost management service. The three types of alerts that may show up are budget alert, credit alerts, department spending quota alerts, budgets. Then we have purpose of tags. Tags in Azure are key value pairs used to organize, categorize, and manage Azure service resources or services. So they help you apply metadata to resources for better cost tracking, automation, governance, and reporting. The cost management group and track spending by project, department, and environment. Then we have the resource organization, categorize resources by application owner, environment, or life cycle stage. Then we have the governance and compliance, enforce consistent tagging with Azure policy for auditing and accountability. Then we have the automation, search and filtering, and access management. Access management use tags to inform role-based access decisions or create scoped policies. After that, we have the topic, the purpose of Microsoft Purview. So, what is a Microsoft Purview? Is a family of data governance, risk, compliance solutions that helps you get a single unified view into your data. So the Microsoft Purview brings insights about your on-premises, multi-cloud, and software as a service data together. With Microsoft Purview, you can stay up to date on your data landscapes, automated data discovery, sensitive data classification, end-to-end data lineage. Two main solution areas comprise Microsoft Purview: risk and compliance, and unified data governance. So, in the risk and compliance, for risk and compliance legal terms, teams this, and unified data governance for data consumers, data engineers, and data officers. Then we have the purpose of Azure policy. The purpose of Azure policy is a service in Azure that allows you to create, assign, and manage policies that enforce rules and effects on your resources to help ensure those resources stay compliant with your organizational standard and service level agreement SLAs. Purpose: ensure resources in Azure are deployed and maintained in a consistent, compliant, and secure manner automatically. Why use Azure policy? Azure policy is used for governance, compliance, standardization, risk reduction, cost control, automatic remediation, and we have the visibility auditing. So each has and purpose, each has their description. So in this governance and compliance, enforce rules for resource creation and configurations to meet regulatory or internal standards. Standardization, ensure consistent deployment. Example: reason restrictions, naming conventions. Risk reductions, prevent insecure configurations. Example, open ports, unencrypted storage, cost control, restrict usage of expensive resources or enforce tagging for cost tracking. Automatic remediation, automatically fix non-compliant resources if configured. Example, add missing tags. Then we have the visibility and auditing, get compliance reports across subscriptions and resource groups. The purpose of resource logs. Resource logs in Azure are used to prevent accidental deletions or modification of critical resources. They provide an extra layer of safeguard beyond role-based access control by enforcing restrictions regardless of user permissions. So, even users with the owner or contributor roles cannot delete or modify logged resources without first removing the log. Then we have the purpose of resource logs. Resource logs purpose is prevent accidental deletion, prevent unauthorized changes, add an extra layer of protection. Then we have the types of resource log. Read only, in which you have the access of read only the resources but cannot modify or delete that resource. Cannot delete. Users can read or modify the resource but cannot delete it. Where can logs be applied? You can apply logs at different scopes. Subscription, resource group, individual resource. Logs are inherited. A log at a higher level, like a subscription, applies to all its children, resource groups, resources. Important notes. Logs must be manually removed before a resource can be deleted or changed. Based on log type, can be managed via Azure Portal, Azure CLI, PowerShell, ARM, ARM templates. So then we have to configure a resource log. In next video, we will do this process. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.